Hello, everyone. This is the Parks Academy, where we discuss and celebrate all things theme parks related. We focus mainly on Disney parks and resorts in both Anaheim and Orlando. My name is Paige.
My name is Steven.
And today we will be continuing our Disney Artist Spotlight series.
Yep. We have 2 more shows and to wrap up with this series. I'm excited for sure about this next one, and then the one that's coming out next week is also going to be great, and it's going to be a really good way to wrap this up. Before we get into all of this, though, what are you excited about this week?
I was trying to think right before we sat down to record. I texted Steven earlier this week and said, I really, really wish we were going to the Flower and Garden Festival because I follow, a ton of Disney accounts, and particularly the vegan Disney World account that I talked about after our last trip.
Right.
There's so many delicious looking options at the Flower and Garden Festival that I want to go and try them. And then some of the topiaries that they have debuted already, like the Tiana is so beautiful.
Yeah.
There's just so many things that I would love to be able to go and see.
And they have like all the Encanto sisters.
Yes,
The Encanto sisters. The
Madrigal
sisters.
I
Yeah.
know.
Wait a minute. What's her last name?
What do you mean?
Because unless the mom didn't take the dad's last name.
I don't know.
What is that? Because they say family Madrigal, but it's not. But I don't think it's like Luisa Madrigal or Isabel.
No,
Madrigal.
that's probably Abuela's last name.
Right. No, that's what I'm saying.
So
yeah.
Bruno
so she's like,
Madrigal.
Yeah. So I'm wondering, what that is. Paige is looking it up, but I agree with you. The first festival we ever went to at Epcot together was the Flower and Garden, and we loved it. I remember the thing that I loved about it is that I didn't feel there was a lot of pressure, where at Food and Wine, I feel like there's so much pressure to see and do everything, and also go on rides and stuff. And the Flower and Garden felt a lot more free and open, and less like pressure, to try everything. And it was cheaper at the end of the day, too.
That's one of my favorite festivals that we've gone to. I like that time of year.
Yeah.
It's less crowded. I really, really, I wish we could go.
I know we
Womp
can.
womp.
We literally can. I don't see, why we couldn't. Well, so if it wasn't bad enough that like we're trying to save money this year, and also since a little inside baseball, since we, run our own business, we have to, we don't get taxes taken out from our checks. We have to pay them every year. So like tax season's kind of, we have to tighten our belts a little bit. But not only that, but I also have to hire someone to come out and take down a bunch of trees that are dead in our property. So that's like extra money that could technically go to Disney, but unfortunately is not going to go to Disney. So are you finding out what their last name is over there?
It just calls her Mirabel Madrigal.
Okay, so then the dad took mom's last name. It's like if you want to live in Casita, you have to.
Yeah.
You have to be a Madrigal. It's just
Yep.
like no,
Yep.
that's fair. As long as you're gonna live under my roof, you gotta
Take my name.
live by my rules. That's right.
And I know that in some cultures, like they take both mom and dad's last name. So
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
it was just she is
I was just
Madrigal dash whatever her dad's last name is. So I don't know.
asking. Cool.
What are you excited about this week?
I am excited that Mandalorian season 3 is back. I was really looking forward to it, and the Book of Boba Fett was really not a great series. There were some things I liked about it, some moments, but overall it was just not a good series. And so with Andor, Andor kind of coming out over the winter, fall and winter, I was super just jazzed up for good Star Wars content, and it feels like Mandalorian is going to be Mandalorian season 3 is going to continue that arc of really good Star Wars television. So it's good to see Din Djarin back. I'm not going to talk about the episode too much because I don't want to give spoilers. But the one thing I will say that I do like is that watching that actually got me hyped up on rewatching Star Wars Rebels. So I started that from the beginning, and that's been a lot of fun.
And your boy Mandalorian Man and Mr. Baby Yoda Grogu were in Disney World this
they're
week.
in Disney World now. Right.
That was exciting.
Yeah, did you see the picture, some video of people like swarming him?
No, but I'm not surprised.
it looked like who's a famous celebrity that women like? It looked like
All of the
it
celebrities.
looked like Brad Pitt in 1990s was like trying to walk through a mall or something, you know?
And everyone just
And everyone was swarming him, but it was like vloggers with their cameras up in the air and cameras everywhere and people like trying to push their way through. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
I know.
That's why we have character meet and greets,
Yes, it
for
is.
that very reason.
I know.
Um, so I know that like characters walking around works really well in Disneyland, but I think that almost proved that it's not going to work in Disney World so good.
There's just so many people,
I know.
but still very cool.
Yeah. Too
Very
many
cool.
Star Wars fans. We need to start. People need to stop liking Star Wars so much, It needs to be a little bit less popular.
It's getting too popular for Steven's liking.
Well, no, I mean, it will always be in my liking, and there's so much within the universe you could dive into that not everyone loves that makes it unique and special,
Right.
Like SIBO. So, anyway, we are so excited to welcome to the show Larissa Marantz. It's her very first time at the Festival of the Arts, so her perspective and her unique thoughts about the festival and being an art vendor there is super refreshing and really exciting. She is a former animation artist for Nickelodeon's The Rugrats and Rocket Power, and she has illustrated almost a dozen books for Nickelodeon's licensed properties, including Avatar: The Last Airbender. Super cool. She has taught art and comics to folks at Cartoon Network, Google, LinkedIn, as well as thousands of children, teens, and adults from all over the world through her educational company, OC Art Studios. Her favorite color is purple, and she loves doing yoga and eating brownies. Who doesn't, right? But not at the same time, is what she told us. Larissa is the illustrator and co-creator of Clyde the Hippo Picture book series, published with Penguin Workshop, and is currently illustrating a science fiction graphic novel to be published by HarperCollins about a young girl genius who must save the world from aliens. And now, here's our interview with Larissa Marantz. All right, Larissa, thank you so much for joining us for our Disney Artist Series here at the Parks Academy. It's so funny. We got you on the show because you had reached out to us about other artists that we had interviewed, and I looked at your page and I'm like, wow, I really like your stuff. So we were looking for a couple other artists. I'm like, you should totally come on. So thank you for being here. We really are glad to have you.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. That's right. I did reach out to you because I came across your podcast and I have been just really looking for more information about the other Disney artists. And you provided that, and it was so exciting to hear your interviews with Dom and with Jason and with Jared. So
Awesome.
yeah, it was really helpful for me. So thanks.
Yeah, that's great. We're trying to get all kinds of different folks and different levels of experience on here. Like this episode would have come out 2 weeks ago, but we just recently interviewed somebody who she hasn't been to the Festival of the Arts, but she has her own like Disney Etsy shop, and she was a big inspiration for us too with our process. So it's been a lot of fun. We've really enjoyed this, and I feel like I could keep it going forever. Like I've told Paige, oh my gosh, I found this other artist we should interview. And she's like, we're going to be doing like 5 or 6. Let's just maybe call it a day. Maybe we'll do another one next year. So regardless, we're super, super happy to have you on. I feel like the most important thing for me to ask you though, is this is your first year at the festival. And when we're recording this, this was like your first day, right?
This is literally my first day at the festival, my first everything. It was absolutely incredible. Yeah. So it was like I thought it
Yeah,
would be
tell us
fun to
about it.
do this. I thought it would be fun to do this interview. You get the fresh off the experience of it. It was just like mind blowing, fun, phenomenal, magical, like in every way, shape, or form. Just getting to Epcot and walking around. I haven't been here since I was probably a teenager, and being here, seeing this place again, it's beautiful. There's so many cool things to see, and then walking around the one of the first places that we went to that had art at. I spoke with a cast member, and he was talking to me about the art, and I said, and he held up the passport. I think there was a little passport that is given out.
Yeah, yeah.
And my art is in there. And so
Whoa.
I was like, oh my gosh, turn to page 4. He turned to page 4 and he saw my Hercule Muses piece and he went, oh my gosh, that's yours. So I said, yeah. And he said, oh, I got your Tiana piece. So it was the
Aw.
first person that I met that had bought my art. It was like so incredible, and I was excited, and he was excited, and so it was just like that continuously all day.
That's amazing. So, it sounds like it was just a huge success, being there. That's cool. You had sent us just a couple hours before our recording, you sent us a reel of you doing chalk art.
Yeah.
Um, that was cool. I mean, tell us about that. Was that something they asked you to do, or did you just, like, kinda have a moment where you're like, "I'm gonna play with chalk and have
I had a
God."
moment. It was a real moment. Okay, so just to back up, I have a picture book that was released during COVID, and so the way that I marketed it was doing chalk drawings of my picture book character, like in parks all over wherever I went. So I'm very accustomed to drawing with sidewalk chalk on the ground, and so there is it's the Festival of Arts. There's lots of places for everyone here to engage in art, and you can paint the mural on the wall. So they had chalk art, and I had to stop and just grab a chalk, and I drew one of the muses, and I thought it was fun, and my friend videotaped me, and she sent it to me, and I thought, oh, that's kind of interesting. So
Yeah,
I put it together and I put it
That's
out there because
amazing.
yeah, it was kind of fun.
that's really cool. So, this being your first year, how did you end up getting into Disney art to the point to where, like, you got to do this? So, like, what was your inspiration for even starting doing Disney art in the first place?
Well, it's interesting because years ago, I was actually approached by someone to submit my art, and the timing wasn't right. There were so many things that were going on. And I also had a lot of imposter syndrome, quite honestly. And I felt like, I don't know if I'm at Disney level. And I kind of stumbled and I just said, you know what, this is not a good time. I don't know if I can do this. So I
Sure.
kind of just said, I don't know if I'm ready for this. And the person who I knew who approached me said, well, we'll always be here. So um, just this last year, I got in touch with them again and I said, yeah, is that still an opportunity that I can take advantage of? And she said, absolutely.
Mhm.
And by this point, I had done a lot of work in the last 4 years. And so it was really simple. They just kind of looked at my art and they said, yep, you're in.
Wow, that's
So
cool. That was something that I was curious about personally, was how you even got in the first place, because I would have 0 idea where to start if I wanted. I'm not like an artist to that level, of like I do art and things, but it's not like drawing and digital art and stuff like that. So that's something I was curious about, is like, what was that process like? Was it just a submission process, or what was that? What did you kind of have to do?
I didn't do anything.
Okay.
Okay, but I didn't technically do anything.
Hmm.
But it's basically all the work that I've done for the last decade. That's
Right.
the work that I did.
Okay.
And it's building my skill and working on, curating my pieces and creating, hopefully a strong enough portfolio so that when someone goes to my website, they go, oh yeah, no
Hmm.
problem. So
Yeah.
that was the process. But like I've had other people come to me and ask me, and I'm like, I don't there's no like one way. I don't know how to tell you how to go
Hmm.
about doing this. It's I think that you were just I think they just pick people.
Interesting.
A friend of mine, Shara Tuisoa, who I think I mentioned to you guys, she's pretty amazing too.
Mhm.
She became a Disney artist pretty much the same way. They just reached out to her, and it was really fun to hear that both of us were selected the same year. Being we know each other, so it was really cool to be like, oh, what happened with you and what's going on with you. So we were always comparing notes and things. So yeah, it's kind of a hard thing to just say this is how you do it because I don't.
Right, for sure. I was just more curious about, what that process could have been like. So that's really interesting though, and yeah, and I do commend you for saying like that it's 10 plus years of writing, or sorry, not writing, but 10 plus years of drawing, and how that was kind of a big part of you just laying foundation upon foundation upon foundation to actually be like, this is my stuff and I'm really good at it, because I mean, you're amazing at it. Like, we really,
Thank you.
it has one of the things that I found so fun and interesting about this series is every single person we have interviewed or brought on the show has such a wildly different style. I mean,
Yes.
we've had everything
Yes.
from, like, extreme minimalism to like oil paintings almost to,
Hmm.
retro vibes, and then very, very, very detailed work.
Yeah.
So it's really fun. I mean, your stuff is a lot of fun, and
Thank you.
yeah, it's really, really well deserved
Thank
that you're
you.
there. So
I
we're
was,
really happy
yeah.
for you.
Thank you. I was actually talking to one of the artists, and they were talking about how Disney has really done a great job with kind of introducing art as a collection to its connoisseurs, its people who love Disney. And so there is something for everyone, just like there is a Disney character that has a different personality. Like some people love Eeyore, and some people love Tink, and some people love, Buzz. There's just a personality for every person. And they've done a really great job of, kind of incorporating so many various styles in the Disney fold for this wide cast of, artists, and like so many people can find something that really touches them, and I'm just really happy that I was selected to be a part of that. So
Cool.
Yeah, I wanted to jump in here because I've noticed that a lot of your art showcases Black female characters. And so we just wanted to hear a little bit. I'm sure that as a Black female yourself, you care a lot about representation and being able to display those characters for people. Has that been a huge inspiration in your style, or what was sort of your heart behind that?
oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I will just say that the first time I saw like Princess and the Frog, when I saw Black Panther, like those type of movies where they're featuring a Black cast or Black characters are really huge for someone who looks like me. Like as a little girl growing up, like a lot of my friends loved The Little Mermaid. And I will tell you, and I might get flack for this, but I never really liked Little Mermaid. But you know what I'm excited for? I'm excited for the new Little Mermaid.
Mhm.
And I just posted on my Instagram that I think that's, if I am asked to do another Disney piece, I definitely want to do a Little Mermaid piece. So,
Awesome.
that's something that I think is really important. My friend
Mhm.
Shar, she is Hawaiian, she's Polynesian, so they're doing a really great job of, I feel, reaching out and broadening the reach of the diversity in the movies that they're creating, like with Encanto, and
Mhm.
Ryan the Last Dragon. Just there's so many different things that are happening, which I think is great, and it's totally well needed. It's and so that's the kind of work that I want to do. I want to do work that is inspires me, and that hopefully will inspire other little Black girls like
Mhm.
when I was a little kid. So
Yes, and that's exactly what I was gonna say is I think it's more than just a checkbox. We have, artists that will paint or draw, some of our minority characters, but for little girls to be able to see what you're doing and see themselves represented behind the art as well, that the artist is then inspired by that, for them to see that they would have a chance to grow up being an artist just like you. I think that is what that representation is really important for too, that you're doing a really
yeah,
big thing, not just
thank
with your art,
you.
but by being who you are and letting that shine through in your art. So that's something I'm really passionate about, and thank you for doing that. You're a big inspiration for a lot of people.
Oh gosh, thank you. In fact, I had this little moment today where this young girl came up to me, and I could just tell she was an artist because she was just very shy. And she came up and she said, "Are you the artist?" And I said, "Yes." And I said, "Are you an artist too?" And she said, "I like to draw." So I said,
Oh,
so we talked for a little bit, and then when we were done talking, I said, like just keep drawing, and maybe you can be a Disney artist someday. And it's something, just maybe that little saying can help her, because I remember having people in my life when I was younger who really believed in me and
mhm.
supported my work. And like I stand on their shoulders. They're the ones who lift me up and made me confident enough to pursue art, as a career. So
That's amazing. Is drawing your favorite medium? Do you have another medium that you prefer?
I do everything. Oh my gosh, I
I mean,
do.
right,
That's
you were doing chalk earlier, so it has to be all kinds of stuff.
just give me a blank surface and any kind of media, and I will do anything. I used to have a mural business when I first started out. I teach oil painting and watercolor and digital painting and cartooning and character design because I'm an educator. So I dabble in all things. In fact, I brought my watercolors with me to the festival. And when I asked the cast member, "Is it okay if I draw?" She said, "Oh, absolutely." So I plan on. I took some photos of the different worlds, and I'm going to be painting them in watercolor like the next
Oh,
week.
cool.
So
Wow.
yeah, just excited. I'm just any kind of art. And I do a lot of digital because the medium is obviously you can do anything. And one of my favorite things to do is pastel, which is super messy. But I like to do pastel digital paintings. So yeah.
That's cool.
That's awesome. You're a very versatile artist.
Yeah.
Well, I try to be.
That's awesome.
I try to be. Thank you.
Yeah. Paige and I were actually having a discussion just like 2 days ago or something where she was saying something like, I'm so inspired by all these artists. I kind of want to just like get an iPad and Apple Pencil and like a Procreate sort of app and just start doing it. And I'm like,
do it.
I've had several moments where I've sat down with an iPad and like tried to draw something, and then I do all of these like little tutorials to figure it out, and then I move on to something else or whatever and never come back to it. But it's so cool like to see art just come to life and sort of like a vision start from something in your head to a final product it's really satisfying, whatever kind of
Yeah.
medium it is.
Well, I
That's
think you
awesome.
should definitely do that, Paige. And Stephen, I think with all the things that you're talking to people, I think you definitely should, after you put your daughter to bed, go just pick up your iPad and
Yeah.
Right.
draw a
It
little
just
bit.
sounds
Just
like a
have
fun
fun.
hobby.
It
Yeah, and it's probably
is. It's just,
relaxing too, right?
it's so relaxing. Oh my gosh. You just, and do it for that. Do it for the joy, not to like,
Yeah.
make anything interesting. I mean,
Right.
but do it to like, because it's fun.
Yes,
That's
Yeah.
just
why I
as a
do it.
creative outlet. It's
Yeah,
right. You guys
absolutely.
are inspiring me, who's not even an artist
Do
at all.
it.
I don't
Pick up your iPad and stylus and do it.
I don't talk about this much on the show because it never comes up, and I'm actually a musician. And so it's really hard because when my daughter goes to bed, I'm like, well, I can't really do much. Like I can't really play my piano or my electric guitar or anything like that because I'll wake her up inevitably. So it's also maybe I'll need to find a quiet outlet like that. Sounds like
Yeah,
it'd be
can you
good.
get like an electrical piano and just like have all the sound go straight into your headphones?
I'm sure I could, but I don't really have a place to put it. I bought like an old
Ah,
upright piano that was in need of a home a couple of years ago,
okay.
and so that's what I use. But
That's amazing.
all good. Um, so you, I love that today because one of the questions I wanted to ask you about was your animal alphabet, which
Oh
I
yeah.
really, really, really like. And
Thanks.
then it's funny because just today you posted I is for iguana. I would love to hear about this because it's so fun and whimsical, and our minds are mush because we spend every day talking to a 1-year-old and
Yes.
reading her baby books, and so things like that get me equally excited. What's that? Is that just like a passion project, or what's that all about?
Yeah, it's a passion project of one that I'm juggling among many different things. So I've had letter I in my queue for quite some time, and I thought, well, I probably should put it out there. I've got letter J coming up, and I probably can continue on with the rest of the alphabet. In fact, the funny thing was I was trying to do them in alphabetical order, and I accidentally forgot to post H. And one of my students, Selena, was like, "What happened to H?" And I was like, "Oh my God, I swear to God, I know the alphabet in order." So and I put an H just for hippo. So
Uh-huh.
yeah, but that's something that I'm intending to complete the alphabet and
Mm-hmm.
have those available as prints in my soon to be open Etsy store.
Oh,
So
cool.
things
That's
that,
cool.
yeah, many things that I'm trying to do right now.
You'll definitely have to let us know when that's up because we'd like to check it out, and we'd love to also promote it and help spread the word on that for you.
Absolutely.
Well, very cool. Yeah, we love those. And then I was also, whenever we have someone that we're gonna have on the show, I always want to spy on them a little bit. So I was on your website looking at your shop, and I did see your murals. Some of them are really awesome. But
Thanks.
one of the things that really, really caught my attention on your website was your cute pop art.
Yeah.
And I was super taken in by I'm a big Star Wars nerd and a huge Star
Yeah.
Wars fan. So I was
Yeah.
immediately taken in by your Star Wars trilogy movie posters, and then the Avengers ones. And I mean, obviously there's some like, Pulp Fiction
Yeah.
and Saturday Night Fever and whatnot,
Yeah.
but there are a handful of things that are mostly Disney related. Those are so fun. I mean, I don't really have any questions about them. I just wanted to say I liked them.
Thank you. Thank you. It's so cool that that you like them. I love Star Wars too. And yeah, so those posters were really fun. And it's something that I kind of wanted to get back into among many things. I was really excited after doing those. I actually got a chance to work with Funko on a project. So yeah, it was kind of cool
Nice.
to be doing those cute pop art movies. And I've had requests for like many different ones. I just haven't been able to get to them. So
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like sometimes requests can take the wind out of your sails creatively a little bit.
well,
Um,
it's nice to know what people want,
Mm.
but it's just like, okay, just like put that at the end of my long to-do list.
Right.
Things
right.
that I already have to do
Right.
or want to do for me. So
Well, it's all very, very good. And I don't want to, I mean, your website has so much stuff on it, but we're trying to sort of stick with the Disney path a little bit. So I'll try
thanks.
not to stray too far. Um, so is there anything, I'm actually excited to ask you this question because some of the folks we've talked to are actually like work for Disney or something like that. And they have some NDAs and stuff. So for you, is there anything that you're working on right now that you are kind of excited about, or any like ideas in your head of any Disney properties that you want to cover, or kind of want to jump on for an art project?
Yeah, well, right now I'm completing a graphic novel that will be released by HarperCollins in 2024. And that, yes, I know your
Wait,
jaw's on the
Wow.
wait.
ground.
Page, yeah, Page Made. I don't know what that is.
You
So
don't know who
Page, please
HarperCollins
explain
is?
it to me. What is that? Or someone
Do-
explain it to me.
HarperCollins is a publishing company that publishes books.
Oh,
Like a
And
huge publishing
okay.
company.
I mean, I know, but our listeners probably don't know. So,
yeah, so it's a 21st century science fiction fantasy about a young biracial girl who is a genius but really doesn't know it, and she has to save Earth from impending doom because if she doesn't do it within 48 hours, with with the help of her annoying older brother and her family, she doesn't do anything within 48 hours, the Earth will turn into a gigantic ice ball because aliens are trying to suck the energy from the sun.
Wow.
that's cool. That almost sounds like I could have a script for a Disney film almost.
Hmm,
Wouldn't that be
yeah.
something? We don't have that kind of reach, but maybe putting it out in the universe will, that's amazing though. We
That's
can't wait to see
awesome.
that. That's great.
Thanks. Yeah, yeah, I can't wait to see it too.
Oh yeah,
So,
right.
yeah.
For
Yeah, so
sure.
that's what I've been working on. And then yeah, I'm working on putting my Etsy shop together. Once that's kind of wrapped up, I also work as an educator. So, and the funny thing is that I flew out here just yesterday, and as soon as I got to my hotel, I had to log into Zoom and teach my cartooning class to my students. So I teach as well. I do online private lessons with art students, and I'm looking forward to doing more Disney artwork. They have me back indefinitely. I want to do Star Wars because I haven't
Mm-hmm.
done any yet.
Yeah,
I really want to hit that universe and The Little Mermaid. Yeah.
that's
Yes.
amazing. Have you seen the new trailer that came out today for The Little Mermaid?
I literally saw I saw, I literally just saw it like an hour or two ago and
Mhm.
I squealed
It
and
was it was really short and it didn't really give us a lot, but
Mm.
yeah, I did like the little Ursula tease at the end. That was kind of
mhm.
funny. But yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, just like all these Disney, remakes that they're doing, it looks gorgeous. I mean, it just looks like wow. So
Yeah, and
we're excited to see it.
I actually really enjoy the live action Disney movies, you know?
Yeah, for
I really
sure.
do. So I think this
Mm.
one should be just out of this world too. So
There's something kind of nice about sitting down to a very familiar story, because you already
hmm
know what's going to happen. But
hmm
it just looks better in a different way, but you already kind of know what's going to happen, so you can kind of go in relaxed and not worried about, what the story, where the story is going to go or what it's going to tell you, because you kind of already
Yeah.
know,
And there
right?
that familiarity, I mean, that's what, we all those of us that are here that love the Disney world, it's something that we know and it's something familiar, you're right. But to see it told in a slightly different way, and it's just it's exciting. It's like if you have this deep love for something, you can't get enough of it, right? So
Right,
you're like,
right.
give me more. Yes,
Yeah.
I want more Lion King. Yes, I want more, um, Beauty and the Beast. Yes, I want more anything. Give it to me.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we're getting a Toy Story 5 for some reason in the next few years.
I
So
don't what do you mean for some reason? You think that
I
people
love
don't love Toy Story enough?
I just don't. We talked about this in our intro of one of our shows a few weeks ago. I just don't know where they're going to go with it. Like, you know,
Yeah. Well, we
m-
shall see, huh?
my money's on Andy in a nursing home, and they're going to go see him for one
Stop.
last goodbye. Um,
No.
I think that would really just make people cry more than the incinerator scene in
God, maybe it's
3.
all gonna be about what's his name that destroyed all the toys. Maybe it's
Oh,
gonna be
Sid.
his yeah, it's gonna be Sid's story.
I was actually listening to I think I don't remember which podcast it was, but one of my mini film podcasts that I listened to, and someone recommended or said they wanted to see like a story of how Sid channeled his lazy, maybe abusive dad. And just his really
Mm.
rough upbringing, and he like opened up his own art gallery with like weird toys that he had pushed together and done weird things with. So he was like this really sad misunderstood artist in his
Oh my
adult age, and I was like, that'd be kind of fun. I don't think it'd be a good kids movie, but it could be great.
No, and in fact, it would be really interesting, just like taking taking the story and telling it from someone else's perspective.
Right.
Like what if we saw like the Little Mermaid from Ursula's perspective,
Mm-hmm.
like her
Hmm.
whole story,
Yeah.
Just like yeah,
They
it would
did
be
that
really
with
interesting.
they did that kind of with the Maleficent movies, and that was
Yeah,
cool because that was a totally
exactly.
different sort of
Loved
point of
it.
view. Yeah.
Loved Maleficent. Hmm.
Sweet. Yeah, Disney movies are fun to talk about, but we would love we've kind of tinkered with the idea of doing like commentaries on films, and every time I say it I want to do it even more.
Like
So
Mystery Science Theater 3000, maybe
yeah,
you can just like
kind
watch it
of.
and then just kind of talk over what's going
Right,
on and
exactly.
make
Yeah.
silly jokes.
Yeah. Okay, so do you have a piece that you've done that's particularly really speaks to you, or some one of your favorite kind of like something that you've done that really just is maybe your favorite artwork that you've put out there, or even if it's just for yourself or professionally?
Yeah, for me, I mean, it's so, and you're gonna have to excuse me because I am in Disney World and the fireworks are going off right now,
It's all
if you
good.
can hear it.
I did hear it. It scared me.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm so excited to see it tomorrow night because yeah. So the piece for me that was really powerful or that I really like creating was the women of Wakanda.
Hmm.
um, because I wanted to see some really strong women. And just that whole movie alone
Hmm.
just was so powerful and resonated so strongly with me. It was something that I really needed in my own personal life. And so creating that piece really, helped me a lot in my own life. And to see other people like pick it up and just be like, oh my gosh, wow, this is, saying however they feel about it it really moves me, to know
Hmm.
that it is resonating with them. So yeah, that's my favorite piece. That I
It's a beautiful piece. I mean, it's really great. We actually just watched that movie last week maybe.
Yeah.
I think we had to do it in 4 sessions
yeah,
because again
well,
we
yeah.
have a 1-year-old. But we loved it, and I was a little worried like what are they going to do, with Chadwick Boseman passing and all
Mm,
that, but I thought they did a really nice job of, sort of portraying this new, no spoilers, but sort of like this new era of what the Black Panther looks like.
yeah.
And it was very, very well done. It was exciting. I mean, even like the post-credit scene, I'm not going to spoil it, but
Yeah, don't
just kind of
spoil
the
it because
way
I haven't seen it.
the
I've
movie or
only
the
I saw Black Panther, but I haven't seen the recent one.
oh
That's okay. We just watched it,
yeah,
so
no,
we're super
I'm
delayed too.
not gonna, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but just the way that they set everything up, the way they did it was just really nice and really beautiful. So
Yeah.
I think that, yeah, I mean, your piece that you did with that is um It's amazing. I mean, it's really great. And I'm sure it's gotten a really,
Yeah.
really good reception at the
Well,
festival, I'm sure.
it's still it's different, you know. It is totally different from everything else out there, you know, because I'm actually kind of cartooning or simplifying like live action, you
Yeah.
know,
Mm-hmm.
characters like real life people. I know
Mm-hmm.
Jason Ratner did that really well with
Mm-hmm.
you know, with what he did in his work.
Yeah.
Which is amazing. So like, for me, just honestly, like being a first time artist coming here and looking at all this artwork, I'm like, oh my god, like I have to level up.
One of the
So
things, one of the things that I've taken away from this series we've done is how collaborative and community oriented the art world is. Um, I mean, there can be a level of competitiveness, I'm sure, but um, the fact that everyone's just kind of there to help each other out and get ideas and inspiration, and obviously not everyone's art's going to be the same. So I get where you're coming from with some of the trepidation of seeing all these other artists who have been there for a decade or whatever. Um, but no, I mean, your stuff is, I mean, you're there. So your stuff
I
is
am, yeah.
worth being there. And that's the whole thing.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Meeting the other artists, kind of walking around today and getting to know them, introducing myself. Hi, I'm a first time Disney artist.
Mm-hmm.
They would all say, "Oh my gosh, you know, oh that's great, congratulations," you know, and I would ask them, you know, just some advice and
Hmm.
tidbits and stuff, and they were all really nice and very friendly. And yeah, I'm just excited to be part of this little community of artists. Yeah.
What you need to do
Yes.
is go to town hall and get one of those pens that says celebrating and says like my first time as an artist at the Festival of the Arts.
Ah,
That'd be pretty good.
I'm gonna do that tomorrow.
And that's a talking point for people who come up
It
to see
is.
your stuff. So
Okay.
yeah, you get that one for free. Um,
Thank
okay,
you.
so we like to sort of transition. Obviously you've listened to the other ones, so you're a little bit ahead. We want to ask you about your favorite things Disney wise. So let's start off with your favorite. What do we start with? Park?
Attraction.
Let's start off with your favorite Disney attraction.
Rise of the Resistance.
All right. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. I actually just I went to Disneyland just recently with a friend of mine who's also an artist, and we said absolutely we're going on this ride, and we started at the beginning of the day. Maybe we'll go on it now. Oh no, we'll wait. So we waited till like the very end of the day, and by the time we waited to get on the ride, the line was 3 hours long. But
Jeez.
what were we going to do? We had to sit in that 3 hour line.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, I brought my sketchbook, and so did she. So we drew, and I actually brought like a tiny little like mini paint set. So
Sweet.
I drew Yoda, and I
Oh.
painted, and she drew like all the little intricate details of the scenery and the way that they create the worlds. Just so we drew, and when we got into the ride, it was like my mouth was just dropping, and I was just
Hmm.
constantly screaming, "Oh my god!
Yeah.
Oh my god!" Like
Was that
every
your first time writing it?
yes, it was
Hmm.
my
Mm-hmm.
first
Yeah.
time, and I was such a nerd. I was just screaming, "Oh my god! Oh my god!" Every time something happened, and I don't want to say, but every time
Hmm.
something new happened, I was
Yes.
literally screaming, "Oh my god!" And it was amazing because my friend and I, we came to Disneyland that day, and we were like, we are intentionally going to have an amazing day. Like, we are intending to create a really fantastic, seamless, easy, beautiful, magical day. And it totally was. I mean, even though we waited 3 hours in line, we had said we want to go to that ride, we want to watch the fireworks, and we want to see the parade. So when we got out of that ride, right when we walked out, we were right underneath the fireworks, and the fireworks show
Oh,
just
awesome.
started, and it was like we were
Yeah.
watching that. It was amazing. And then after that, we walked over to the castle, and the electrical parade was starting, and everybody was had their place, but we found a space right on the wall by the castle,
Hmm.
right behind a churro stand. And I had also told my friend we have to have a churro.
Mm-hmm.
So everything just worked out
Oh,
magically.
that's the Disney way to do
That's
it.
when was
For the
this? Was this,
parade,
you said this was
this is
recently or?
this was a few months ago. Yeah.
Okay. So I was gonna ask you if the Disney 100 was there yet, but I guess not quite, huh? Yeah. Well, that's cool. I love that ride so much.
It is amazing.
We first went on it in January 2020, like right before COVID sort
Mm,
of happened. And I've been on it a couple times since, but my favorite thing about that ride now is like when you're in the interrogation room and when you're in the shuttle,
mhm.
sort of escaping the first order and stuff. I just kind of like watching other people and like picking out who it's their first time and just waiting to see what they do because it's so much fun now with how many twists and turns there are.
Yeah.
I like to just
Yeah.
kind of see like how are people going to respond, and I like to see people freak out and be like, yeah, this is really good.
Oh, I would have
Um,
been so fun to watch, I'm sure, because I was a total geek. I was a total nerd, losing my mind at every second. So,
A lot of
mm,
people are.
yeah, no, it's great.
yeah.
That's really cool. Also, our first time writing it, I had hyped it up so much. In fact, we weren't going to go to Disneyland that year. But I made Paige, well, I didn't make her. You don't really make anyone go to Disneyland who's a fan.
No,
But we went solely because I wanted to go see Galaxy's Edge.
of course.
And we did the early morning, what is it? The
Lightning,
and it was
whatever
the
it's called.
whatever it is when you had to like,
Genie.
what was that thing you used to have to do? Get in the queue, the
The
automated queue,
boarding
the
passes.
boarding passes. Thank you. And we got our time. I was so happy, and we're getting in line, and there's a vlogger in front of me, and I'm like, I swear, if this guy vlogs the entire ride. Fortunately, they didn't, but I told Paige,
We
I'm like,
got separated
I
from
was
him
like,
too at one point, which was
I'm
good.
gonna say something. Like, I'm not trying to see this ride through someone's phone or camera.
Hmm.
Fortunately, we lucked out. So
Good.
yeah.
Good for you.
So what about parks? So do you have a favorite park?
Disneyland.
Okay, so are you a Disney? Are you like, is Disneyland like your home park?
Yeah,
Cool.
I'm in
Nice.
Anaheim. I literally am
Oh.
in
Oh,
Anaheim.
that's right. Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah. I'm sorry.
yeah.
You told me that you're not far from there at all, actually, right?
No, very close. I will just say very close. Can see the fireworks. Yeah.
That's
That is
amazing.
amazing.
Man, I'm so jealous. I grew up in the Bay Area in California, so it's definitely my home park. So we were a 6-hour drive, and we would go,
Yeah.
every few years, especially growing up, and then I ended up going way more as I got older. And Paige's home park is Walt Disney World because we're out here on the East Coast now. We live in the Mid
Right.
Atlantic area.
Hmm.
But that's great. I love Disneyland. There's so much to say about it. It's a great park.
Yeah, it's a great park. It's fun. It's got everything. I mean,
Mhm.
I can only say Disneyland because it's my first day here and I've only been to Epcot. So I
Right.
still have to do all the other things. If we had done this interview my last day, I might have had
Mhm.
a completely different answer.
Oh, so is this your first time visiting Walt Disney World?
Yes.
Oh, congratulations.
Well,
That's
actually,
cool.
it's for the whole world of Disney World. Yes, like I've
Mhm.
been to Epcot before, but I haven't done any of the other parks. So like I've
Okay.
been talking to the cast members. Oh, they were giving me tips about Animal Kingdom and Hollywood Studios, and just so jazzed to do all of
So
it.
if you enjoyed, and Paige will vouch for this because Animal Kingdom's her favorite park. If you enjoyed sketching and Rise of the Resistance, sketch in line for Flight of Passage and Pandora because you could
Oh,
literally fill up 10 notebooks with the amount of things
okay.
there are to see there.
And
It's
Navi's River Journey as
mhm,
well. Both of the ones within Pandora. I could spend hours just in that area. It's
yeah.
so small comparatively. Animal Kingdom is there's people that love Animal Kingdom and people that it's their least favorite. It is my favorite Disney park.
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
It's fantastic, and if I were an artist, I would just go there and just draw. I would just sketch things. There's so much to see. It's just beautiful. To me,
Mhm.
it's the most beautiful park.
Okay, well,
And
I'm
the funny
excited to
thing
go.
is, she loved it before even watching Avatar. So
Right.
she was
I
a
had never even
huge,
seen Avatar the first time I
yeah.
went.
Oh yeah, that's right. One of the cast members telling me, yeah, go into the Avatar world in the evening because it
Yes.
glows.
It's like
Yes.
Oh,
bioluminescent almost. It's
that's
amazing.
amazing. That's
Yeah.
It's
amazing.
gorgeous.
Got to
It's a
do
Yep.
lot of
it.
fun over there.
Cool.
So very,
So
very
many
cool.
fun
Okay.
things.
What
Yes, I'll
about,
be interested to hear your answer at the end of your trip. We'll reach out to you and see
yeah.
what you think.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
So what about Disney movies? What's your favorite Disney film?
Um, okay. This one was hard because I really loved Moana.
Ooh,
Just
yeah.
love it so much. I like a lot of the Disney movies. My favorite princess is Tiana, but my I think my favorite Disney movie is Moana. I think if you had to say like, okay, you can only watch one Disney movie for the rest of your life, what would it be? It would be in Moana.
That is our 14 months old favorite film. I've watched it
Yeah.
2.5 times today already.
See? See? It's
It's
that good. It's
ev-
it's it's consumable. It's easily
Yes.
consumable
yeah.
and repeatable. It's
Mhm.
not offensive. It's easy on the eyes. It's
Mhm.
fun.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Um,
The message is great. The
Yeah.
music is phenomenal.
the hair
Yes.
animation is
I know. It's so good.
it's
We
just fun
actually,
and
yeah.
funny.
Gosh, um it's kind of one of those movies that just feels like it just gets better every time you watch it. And we listen to
Mm,
the soundtrack all like I could probably sing every single word of every single song verbatim without a problem because we listen
yeah.
to it so many times. But I
Yeah.
also don't really get tired of it. Like the
Yeah.
Where You Are, I'm just like, that's a great song. And then Shiny, that's a great song. A little Flight of the Concords. So I don't know. Yeah, that's a great pick. That's a really, really good pick.
Yeah, I thought so. I thought it was good.
Hmm.
See, and you agree with me because you watched it twice today.
2.5 times. But yeah.
Two and a half times.
You've
See?
seen Tafiti's there, right? Have you been able to see Tafiti at
What?
Epcot?
What? No?
Is it visible?
Really?
Are you being sarcastic?
No, I'm serious. I don't even know what you're talking about.
In
So
Epcot,
in Epcot, there's
the
this
Moana walkway.
giant
What?
Tafiti, and she's I don't we haven't seen it yet, so I can't say
Oh my
where she is. But
gosh.
ask a cast member about it because it's been on like Disney's YouTube channel a couple of weeks ago. It's this gorgeous, just I mean, stunning version of Tafiti from like the end of the film. So
So
Wow. No.
my memory is correct, when you enter Epcot, it should be to the right of Spaceship Earth.
Okay.
Um, so it's not officially open yet, right? The walkway,
it's not
Journey
officially
to Water.
open,
So
but you
it
can
may
see
be that
it.
they have walls so that you can't see it.
Oh, are those the walls with the artwork on it?
I would
Those
assume.
those walls have been there for like 3 years, so I don't
Okay,
know. I've
yeah.
lost track.
But I think
By the
Tafiti is
rose,
big
there's
enough.
like rose garden. I think I know what you're talking about. That's
Hmm.
the walls. That's where they yeah, I figured that's where they were working on something. But the only
Mhm.
reason why I know the walls are there is because they put artwork there. My one of my pieces is on the wall, so I
Oh,
went
So
there
really?
cool.
today
Oh,
to see it.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, ask a cast member because it's
Okay.
great. Um,
Cool.
Mhm.
but very cool. Yeah, that's awesome. We wanted to kind of close it out by asking you if there was anything you wanted to promote. And obviously, we know that you just got there, so you're gonna be we want to talk about you being at the festival, get some dates and stuff. But this episode's not going to come out for a little bit. Just 'cause we have a couple in the queue ahead.
Yeah.
But we still want to promote, you being there on our social media channels even before this episode comes out. So tell us a little bit about, what you want to promote and how long you're going to be there and where people can find you.
Okay. Well, you can find my socials. I hope you'll link them to that.
We link everything. Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, so a couple things that I would love to promote is yes, I'll be here for the duration of the festival. I'll be at the Odyssey building in the morning, 11 to 1. When I get back to sunny Southern California, I will be part of the Celebrate Soulfully celebration at the Wonderground Gallery. I will be signing on Saturday Saturday I'll be at Disneyana in Disneyland. And on Sunday, I will be at Wonderground in the afternoon. And both signings, I will be with the amazing paper artist Ryan Riller. So I'm excited
Okay.
about that. That's the February 25th and 26th. And just as far as like what I do, I would love to just like promote me as an educator. I'm an educator. I work as a mentor. I do mentorship programs. And I work with students to build their portfolio, to get into art school. And yeah, so that's what I do. I work as an educator and I work on my art. And yeah, hopefully at some point in the near future, I'll have my Etsy shop open and
That's
ready
awesome. You'll
for
have to let
business.
us know when it's open so we can check it out and all that. This has been a lot of fun, and I have to say that your perspective on things has been really um, sort of almost, close to us because Paige is an educator, and your favorite movie is our daughter's favorite movie. We love your art. We love Princess and the Frog. So this has been really special and so much fun to have you on our show. And seriously, just good luck with this whole crazy Festival of the Arts experience. I'm sure you're just gonna absolutely do phenomenal as the time goes on, and you totally are so well deserving to be there. So we're really happy for you.
Thank you so much. That's so kind of you to say. It was really lovely to be able to talk to you guys, especially as my first time being here. So thank you so much for, talking to me tonight. It was really fun.
Okay, well, that's going to wrap it up for us. Again, we just want to thank Larissa so much for being a part of the program. And thank you to all of you for listening and being a part of our Parks Academy journey. As always, you can find us at theparksacademypod.com as well as on Instagram at the Parks Academy. And if you would like to join along with us with some insider footage and audio as well as some early access, you can join us on Patreon just starting at $2 a month, really cheap. We want to make it accessible to everybody. Additionally, we want to thank our sponsor, Deep Cut Co., for really just providing great products and joining along with us on the show and just being a great company. Again, you can get 10% off your order with Deep Cut using the code TPA10 at checkout. Finally, we would love it if you would be willing to give us a good review on Apple Podcasts. That'd be great. Just keep the show discoverable and help move it along the way. Thanks again so much, everyone, for listening, and we will catch you next time.